Hey, how's it going? If you're new here, my name is Jan and I love makeup. And if you're not new, thanks for coming back. I really appreciate you. Obviously, we're doing another Purple Rain video today, which I'm super excited about. Say it with me, trying to keep things interesting so you don't go around on me. But I was thinking, once before, I did a look using no eyeshadow. And I was thinking I could do that today. Because why not? It's fun. It's a little different because I haven't done it in a very long time. And I don't know, maybe it would encourage someone else to do this. And maybe it's an easy way to get a fun look. I don't know. I just have this idea in my head. So if it pans out, yay. And if not, well then we'll know for a future that it's not a good idea. Anyway, if you are into what I'm yammering on about, you should subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll stop the nonsensical yammering and get into the actual look. I pulled out a few things. One of them is the Blend Bunny Juicy Cheeks blush palette. Have you seen the new one, the Masterclass? Oh, I want that so bad. Not that I need it because I have everything, but this has two purple shades, which I thought could be fun. And I pulled out my NYX Butter Melt Blush in the shade All the Butter. This is the purple one that I had resisted getting because I could never wear a purple blush, but turns out I don't know what I'm talking about. I totally can. And then I, of course, pulled out my NYX purple highlighter, and this is in No One Butter. It says it's a holographic lavender. I don't think it's holographic, but it's definitely lavender. And one more. I pulled out my Odin's Eye Lavender Dream highlight. So my face is done. I did all the things except for blush and highlight. So I'm gonna start with what am I gonna start with? I think I'll start with this giant fluffy brush from Reference, the 16, and the purple shade called Sticky Sweet. It's the lighter one. I'll probably end up looping into the darker one as well because hey, we can still contour with blush, right? But my thought is that sometimes applying eyeshadow is intimidating because of the pigmentation. If you're using face products, they're not usually as pigmented. So I'm gonna put this kind of all over. I think this is gonna be pretty much the shade I use, and then I'll use the darker one, I think, for contouring my eye. Not that I think you necessarily need to, and I could probably get most of this done with my blush brush, but if you've been here for a minute, you know I enjoy a bit of the faff when it comes to applying makeups. I like it to be a project, so that's really, really pretty. Holy moly. If it were even, I could just stop there, whack a highlight on my lid and call it a day. That's so pretty. Do I have a lavender highlight or a lavender eyeshadow I could have used? Yes, but that doesn't feel as much fun. I like that. And then I have this other Refer 27. I don't use these very often because they're giant brushes. And I have small eyes, but I'm gonna go into the NYX blush and just see what this does combined with. Yes, that's a little bit different. Cool. This is so fun. I love playing makeups, obviously. That's, you know, a no-brainer. But just the things that you can do, and I don't know. You're limited by your imagination, or at least I am. And that's, I mean, I'm pretty limited, but that's cute. Now I'm gonna go into the Ripe shade from the Blend Bunny palette and put that on. I think this brush is too little because I changed my mind just now. Hold please. I just grabbed my Rephr 01. This is like a flat, but also fluffy. I don't use this one often because it's too big for my eyes. But for what I'm doing now, I think it's perfect. Look, holy moly. Okay, so I'm just gonna get that blended all over my transition and lid. And then I'll just boop on a little bit of highlight and I'll be good to go. This is so fun. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that I thought of doing this. Obviously, I could do it with eyeshadow, but that doesn't feel as fun. And I can use these on my face too, which of course I can use my eyeshadows on my face as well. But we're just playing. We're playing for the fun of it. Going back into the NYX blush to blend out the edge of the dark Blend Bunny. I mean, that's pretty cute, right? Now go back into the Sticky Sweet shade from Blend Bunny and just run that along the edge as well. And I'm sure you can imagine at this point, there's going to be a boatload of purple blush with this look. So, that looks really good. Like, it's smooth, it's pigmented, it's lovely. I'm gonna go back into that little Davina brush. This is the D103. It's a very tiny pencil brush in the Ripe shade from the Blend Bunny palette, just to make sure I've got along my lashes well and truly covered, because these eyes are wrinkly and naked spots like to hide out. Wow, think things all the way through and say them. Let me whack on the other eye real quick and then we'll move on to the face and highlight. I think I'm gonna take the first shade we used called Sticky Sweet and the Rephr 16, the first brush, and just start kind of wiggling it out here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be cute. Maybe I won't go too hard with the darker blush. Now I'm gonna go into the NYX blush, just like we did, or just like I did on the eye. And just kind of start blending it out. I think that's really cute. I don't think I've taken it too far yet, so I'm gonna stop there. I can always add more if I need to, but I can't take it away as easy. So I'm going to take the darkest purple shade on that little Davina brush and run it underneath my lower lashes. Yeah. So I also pulled out purple liners as well because, you know, of course. Let's see. I'm going to use the brush I used on my lid with the darkest shade just to floof a little through here. I like to bring my eyeshadows down pretty low. Helps to, I think, disguise some of the eye bags and wrinkles. Okay, I'm going to quickly make the other cheek match and then we'll move on to the highlight. Okay, I think I'm pretty happy with how that's looking. So now on the same brush I used for my lid, the Refer 01, I'm gonna take the other side and dip into the NYX highlighter and just pat that over the majority of my lid. Not all of it, but you know, a lot of it. I'm not going too crazy. That looks really cool. And then I'm going to dip into the Odin's Eye highlight. Same brush, I'm just gonna swoosh it off of my little towel. And press some of that one on. They have different formulas, so I feel like they'll be nice layered up. Yeah. Do the same thing to this eye. And then we can move on to cheekers. This is really fun. This is really fun. I think this is such a good time. Okay, on my little highlight brush that I always use, I'm going to highlight my brow bone with the NYX highlighter. And then of course, my schnoz. That's very cool. Now I'm gonna start my cheekers with the Odin's Eye highlight, just to see what I think. I mean, it's a really nice highlight. I like it. Now I'll go into the NYX highlighter, same brush, and just swoosh that one on as well. That is so fun. Holy moly. Okay, I'm going to finish up my other cheek, whack on some liner and mascara, and I'll come back and show you the finished look, and that'll be Purple Rain done. All right, I'm back and everything is done. Let me scoot you in, forward, up close, reconnoiter, and all the purpley goodness. I like it. I think it's really fun and purple and super easy. Like, whacking blush on is, in my opinion, one of the easiest things ever. So, yeah, I mean, as far as like using it, it's brilliant. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's so fun. Would you do something like this, like blush as your eyeshadow and blush? Should I do this with other colors not on a Purple Rain? Because I would totally try it. I don't know. I love makeup. I love that it's just fun to play and experiment. And like I said, I did a look, I want to say it was like a peachy blush maybe, that I used as eyeshadow for like a quick look, but this was even more fun because, you know, I got to use multiple things. So anyway, that wraps up this week's Purple Rain video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Either way, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Be good, and remember to be kind to you.